Willie D. Live.
What actor has helped you the most in your career?
What actor? Ted Lange has helped me because he got me the scholarship to go to London, and he put me. There's a film of Othello, the first Othello featuring a black man to play Othello on screen. This was before Fishburne, but he it had a very limited theatrical release. Teddy, I played Iago, and that's a story, a long story, but I played Iago, so I'm on screen as Iago in Othello.
It's just I just want to interject right quick before I forget. We're gonna have to do a part two of all the stuff you said. That's a long story. We'll talk about some other time. But go ahead.
But yeah, the actors, Teddy has helped me. Um, but the people who really helped me were my teachers. There was a guy named Hal DeWint who taught an acting class. And when I first moved to LA, I was in his class with Bill Duke was in that class. Um, Earl Billings was in that class. Carl Franklin, who became the director, he directed Devil in a Blue Dress and One False Move. Myrna White, I think Myrna's the choreographer, but so many of those people. And Hal DeWint took me and he taught me about the camera as opposed to the stage. Hal actually directed me in a stage play. He directed me in Pearlie, but he's the one who taught me how to bring it down. All my teachers from Father Barry Schneider, when I was in Chicago, he would do one of two plays every year. He did Raisin in the Sun or Hamlet. Well, I was a freshman. I couldn't, and they were doing Raisin in the Sun, so I couldn't be in that. But I was in Hamlet. I played one of the guards in the beginning, Bernardo, I think it was. He took us on tour with those plays in high school, man. We went to Wisconsin, Minnesota, through the state of Illinois. He took those plays on tour, and we had to stay in white people's houses. Now, I'm this kid, I told you before, I'm this kid didn't have enough to eat, and we ate beans all the time. We're staying in white people's houses. They had meat at every meal. Their kids had their own rooms. They were huge houses. I'm 16 years old. And I'm going through house after house after house after house. And it dawns on me, I say to myself, I want me some of this. Yeah. Why can't I have this? Barry Schneider was extremely important to me because he showed me a different side of the world. And I actually was involved and lived in those places for a certain amount of time. So Barry Schneider, Sister Aquanette, the woman, the nun that did the kindergarten plays, who put me on stage for the first time. And then when Father Richards was retiring, I was in 8th grade, and they lined all the boys up and said, "Okay, pretend like you're Father Richards." And I watched the boys; they were terrible, and I kept thinking to myself, "Get to me, get to me, get to me, get to me." And so they finally got to me and said, "Okay, pretend you're Father Richards," and I became Father Richards. And you should have seen them nuns' faces. It was like, I knocked it out in their minds. They saw something. So Sister Aquanette was important to me. There was a guy in Michigan who was a theater teacher. His name was Carl Chrysler. He put me on stage. And then let me get to this one. At Notre Dame, all those guys I told you about who constantly put me on stage, and I told you those stories, the stories about past. But when I went to Michigan, because there was no graduate school at Notre Dame, so all the undergrads got to do all the work. But when I went to Michigan, all the graduate students got to do all the work. Well, when I first got there, the big play. There's always a big play at the end of the year. The big play this year was King Lear. That was the big play. And so from the first minute I stepped on the campus, people were talking about, oh man, King Lear. And you know who's going to play King Lear. Yeah, everybody knows who's going to play King Lear. There's a white guy who was the big muck in the theater department. Oh yeah, don't even bother to audition for King Lear because he's going to get it. He's going to play it. You audition for all these other roles. And in my mind, I kept thinking, every time I heard somebody say that, I said, okay, believe that if you want. Believe that if you want. So spring comes along, auditions come. I went and auditioned. And in college, most colleges I'm aware of, they post the cast list on the wall in the hallway of the department. So here I come along to see the cast list, see if I made anything. And there were about 15, 20 kids standing around. And you could hear them. Oh my, I walk up. They see me. It's like the Red Sea parting. They parted. And I walked up to the cast list. And I looked at it. James Hawthorne, King Lear. And I just turned around and walked away.
Mm.
Total silence. And as I get about 10 feet away, you could hear him start up again.